Hello, my One Punch Man viewers or Dragon Ball stars. Today I will teach the stars about the basics of dimensionality 1D, 2D, and 3D, and so on. So, if you see carefully, 1D has only one axis, which is the x axis, means you have to move between this side and this side, but you can't move in this side. 2D, on the other hand, has one more axis perpendicular to the x axis, which is x axis and y axis, so hence you can move between these two directions. 3D, on the other way, you have x-axis, y-axis plus a z-axis, which means at this direction, at perpendicular to the both x and y plane, meaning you can move between all three dimensions like we usually are. That's basically like a Rubik's cube. You see, it has a x-axis, it has a y-axis, and z-axis too. X-axis, y-axis, and z-axis, including the depth. And now the question arises, how the actual fuck that portals work? Portals in one way can be used as one way of co-joining two coordinates together. Let it be 1D or 2D or 3D. It depends upon the context, or it can be even higher dimensional. Now if we talk about portals, portals are of two types, subspace and hyperspace. Many may say that OPM cosmology contains only subspace but not hyperspace, and many people debate about it being hyperspace but not subspace. But today I will explain how this is subspace and not hyperspace. So you see, subspace is a portal which contains less than 3 dimensions and is just used for transportation. It co-joins two 3-dimensional real-time coordinate to a single point, which means it neglects the distance between two things. If I had to go from India to France, it will just neglect these two distances and time and will just directly teleport there. On the other hand, hyperspace it can also work like a portal, but it also has a space, a physical space where you can store objects inside it. The subspace doesn't have any space inside it. You can just move from one place to another place, but it is a whole ass motherfucking dimension in which you can store your fucking ass in it. So now we will learn about how does portal uses higher dimension to travel from one coordinate axis to another coordinate axis using just a single point. What you see here is actually two lines being parallel to each other and both are one dimensional. Both can't move in any other directions, just back and forth, back and forth. Now, if I had to place, if I had to co-join A and B points together, there's no possible way because no matter how much you extend it to the infinity, these two will never meet. So the only way that we can co-join these two fucking points together is to draw a y-axis. It's as simple as that. Moving into the y-axis, you get a new form of moving, which adds a whole new ash dimensional to the fucking question. If we talk about 2D though, let's assume if I had to join point A and point B, I'll give you a real-time explanation. Hold up. We will take this cube as a reference. This part being the x-axis, this part being the y-axis, and this part being the z-axis. Okay? So remember that carefully. So now we have got a sheet of paper. Let us draw some points at it. One point and another fucking point. As you can see, I have drawn 2 points. One point here and another fucking point here. So, if I had to join these 2 points, how can I join them without moving in this direction? That's right, it's impossible actually. You have to move this in this direction, which represents the z axis, which means the fucking 3 dimensions that I'm talking about. 3 dimensions mean you have to use height to co join these two fucking points. As you can see, I'm moving this 2D plane in a 3D way. So these 2 points co-join together. As you can see, I have joined these two portals. Anyway, I have hypothetically, but we have to take use of the three dimensions. You see, these two planes, this side and this side, are now tilted to a three dimensions. These are not two dimensions anymore. Two dimension was this, complete flat. But if you do this, it doesn't remain the 2D anymore. You have to take help of fucking three dimensions to join them. So now, no matter what you use, 1D portal or 2D portal or 3D portal, the result is same. You need higher dimensional structures to co-join two fucking coordinates. So I hope, Mr. Wittard, you understood what like joining these two three-dimensional coordinates are. These are not 3D at any sense. This doesn't. It is not possible to join two three-dimensional coordinate with just use a 3D because let's take another thing. Let's think it is India and this is France and the distance is suppose 10,000 kilometer. Now if you were to travel from this place to this place, you will take, let's say, even a small amount of time. Let's take it as delta t or dt. If you're moving extremely fast, you can take this as dt or delta t depending upon the speed at which we're moving on. If it's relatively slow, for example a plane, it can take like 1 day or even 28 days depending upon the speed you're traveling from India to France. But now, if we create a fucking portal here from India to France, there will the space between them will be neglected. The time though between reaching these 2 points will be neglected too. And this is why we say it uses a higher dimensional structure which neglects both the important properties of 3D, which is time and space. You are literally neglecting the fucking space between India and France to move literally instantaneously. Literally instantaneously. Hyperspace in OPM is 5D. Yes, it is. Let me explain how. The One Punch Man universe works on a branching timeline, not a linear timeline. It is three dimensional plus one dimensional time, three spectral dimensional and one temporal. Now, if you will ask, how the fuck this portal that I'm creating is 5D? So you see, as I explained you earlier, you need higher dimensional properties to join two lower dimensional coordinates. So, in order to join two fucking four-dimensional coordinates, you would need a higher dimensional portal to join these two spaces together. So this must be 5D.